Hello Book Warriors, this is Joe Reads Books, and if you haven't figured it out already, my name is Joe. And today is my very first book review, and the book I'm reviewing is by self-published author Elizabeth Z. Bauer. And the book that I'm agreeing belong to Elizabeth is The Gifted. Now, I've already stated that The Gifted is probably one of my favourite books of 2015, and this is my review. So, without further ado, and with my notes in front of me, let's get to it. The book takes place in, I believe, the not so distant future, but well after a nuclear war has taken place. Now, in this book, it's believed that the survivors of the nuclear war had toxins within their system that mutated a gene within them over the decades. This granted people with superhuman-like powers, and this is known as the elite gene. Also within the story, we have two regions. We have the encrypt region, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing right, and we have the elite region. So the elite region is those with superhuman-like powers, and what they do is they police the encrypt region. And those in the encrypt region are those working class and literally working to survive and to provide for the elite. In the encrypt region, every person at the age of 15 have to take a mandatory test to find out whether they're going to be elite or not. However, majority of those in the encrypt region already know they're elite well before they're 15, but this test is again mandatory. The story follows 15-year-old Alexis and the main protagonist of this story, and her dreads of coming to terms with having to take the test, and her biggest fear of losing her best and childhood friend Xander to the Elite Corps. The Elite Corps is actually the policing unit for the Encrypt, so anyone that's born in the Encrypt region has to leave the Encrypt region in order to join the Elite Corps, and they no longer get to see their family or friends and are completely and utterly brainwashed into forgetting about them. There isn't a whole lot of world building in this book, however we do get enough information from Elizabeth and the narrator of the story to have an idea what's going on. We also get a good idea of the working conditions and the housing conditions in the Encrypt region, and we also get to see the comparison when it's brought into the elite side of the story as well. Though there isn't a huge amount of world building in this book, it can be made up for by the creation of the characters throughout the actual story. The characters can be easily your family and your friends, and this makes it that harder for you not to come attached to maybe one or two of the characters. I can honestly say at this stage there was a moment in this book that I actually had a tear in my eye, and it's just the emotion of certain parts of this character that I really felt, and it kind of just hit home a little bit. Now again, I can honestly say I did have my dislikes from the main protagonist of the story, as she does come across quite needy and very self-doubting of herself. However, the romance that she builds with her best friend Xander is the reason that she tries so hard to do what's right, and I honestly believe that in the next book that she's going to be a little bit stronger, a little bit tougher, and she's going to do things that are going to be pretty interesting. Now again, I do have my characters I do dislike, and these are the antagonists of the story, and this is Tyron and Axel. I think it's Tyron it's pronounced. And I just honestly believe these two characters are just plain evil. Now there is another character that I couldn't spell, so I had to kind of leave him out, and I couldn't find him in the book because it's really hard to find points in the books, especially on an ebook. But I honestly hope Axel dies a painful death. So this is a fantasy sci-fi dystopian, and it has a number of different themes such as romance, death, cowardness, bravery, and so many others. It's safe to say, because I've saying them for weeks now, that I truly love this book. From the characters, to the story, and everything else in between. The book isn't overly all that big. It has 16 chapters plus an epilogue at the end, making a total of 17 chapters. Now the chapters in this book are brilliantly written as well, as they blend from one chapter into another chapter, making it a very easy read. The writing style of this book is also very easy, and there isn't a lot of tongue twisters or hard pronounced words. Maybe one or two words that are difficult enough to pronounce, but when you're reading in your head you just name what do you think they sound like. As I said before, this book is very fast paced, and it's a very hard book to put down at certain points, because once you put it down you're just eager to pick it up again and want to read it continuously until you finish it. Trust me on that one, I done that a lot with this book. I put it down for maybe 2-3 minutes and I just wanted to get back straight into it. As I said before, there isn't a whole lot of world building, but the world building that is there allows us to use our imaginations and possibly even create some fan art of what we believe the world should look like. Now again, I already gave a review on Goodreads and on Amazon of this book, and I did give it 5 out of 5 stars. I truly loved this story altogether, and without a shadow of a doubt, I cannot wait for book 2 to come out, which is out now in a few days, which I'm really excited about, and I can't wait to get my hands on it and flip my tablet left and right and centre and every way to get into the book number 2. I do believe from talking to Elizabeth that the book 2 is quite a lot larger than book 1. I definitely do recommend this book to anyone who is into fantasy, sci-fi and dystopian novels. Again, as I try my best to explain characters and world development and an overview of the story, I pretty much suck at it, but I tried. But furthermore, I really do think that you guys should pick up The Gifted. It's $4 in the Kindle store. It's £3.99 in the Kindle store for the UK. It's not an expensive book. It is a quite enjoyable read, and you should definitely give this self-published author a go. As I said, book 2 is out on the 20th of March, and yeah, I'm just excited about book 2 coming out. And this has been my first book review. Hopefully through more experience I might do a little bit better, but I've done an honest review of this book, and I hope you are happy with it and that you will take my recommendation into consideration. On that note, and on this terrible review, I'm going to see you all in the next chapter.